Polling, and this is my video discussion board for week 4. For my video discussion board, I'm going to be using my previous place of employment. I worked at a behavioral health hospital for the last 4 years and was employed there at the time they opened in August of 2013 until April of this year. Having been there from the beginning, gave me a special insight into some of the culture of the organization, the culture in its formation, and how it has changed or remained the same over the last 4 years. One of the key cultural characteristics of my previous place of employment is an unfortunate divide between the clinical staff and the non-clinical staff. Both sides of this divide feel that they are the most important part of the success of the organization. And in the past 4 years, they have not been able to compromise on this. So this divide doesn't affect everyone, but it does affect the management on the clinical side, and it affects almost everyone who works in the financial department. I worked as the utilization review coordinator, and in doing that, I found myself in a very uncomfortable situation where I had to rely on both clinical to get clinical information for the insurance companies, and finance. I had to work really closely with finance in dealing with authorizations and stuff like that. For any person who works in the facility who's in the middle of those two, it's almost impossible not to take a side. I was able to avoid doing this by pretty much just staying in my office, cutting off almost all social contact with pretty much everybody in the hospital, and only communicating with people when I needed something or had something to report. So if you're a person who's affected by the conflict, it makes working in the facility really challenging. And you're probably either going to find yourself on one side or the other, or just completely not speaking to either side. Another key cultural characteristic of my previous place of employment is a focus on the importance of mental health in the community and surrounding areas. The facility receives a lot of support from the community at every opportunity. Behavioral health facilities in the community are few and far between. We're very lacking with those types of organizations, and organizations that have any type of substance abuse programming are even fewer. This makes the facility that I used to work at unique in the community because it addresses both of those. This characteristic is very supportive of the working environment, and that most who work there feel proud and are often complimented if they're seen out wearing a shirt that has the name of the facility on it. I personally have been stopped in the community time and time again by people who want to know more about the facility, either because they know someone who could use some type of behavioral health support, substance abuse support, or because they're interested in working with that population themselves. So yeah, almost every employee takes pride in working there and in doing something to help the community. Thank you.